Hello everyone. This time we are here to discuss a book that can be considered one of the classics of children's literature. Adventures of Tom Sawyer. This novel by Mark Twain is a must-read for kids aging between 10 to 13 years for its layered storytelling and the very engaging narrative style well suited for children. Let us find out the 5 things that make this story an unputdownable read for the young readers and a very important part of the English literature. Come, let's take a look. Number 1. Children's narrative. Tom Sawyer, an orphan, lives with his Aunt Polly and his half-brother Sid in the fictional town of St. Petersburg, Missouri. It focuses on Tom's life with his aunt and his friends, so it is exactly catering to a young adolescent audience. The narration and the storytelling used in the novel is very effective for the children. The language is easy and free-flowing just to highlight Tom's approach to life. This makes the novel a fun leisure read that opens up various imaginative instincts to work. Number 2. Tom Sawyer's Mischief. Tom was a kid who conducted daily mischief. He skipped school to go swimming and got punished by his aunt. As a punishment, he was asked to paint the fence, but he also managed to do away with that by his master tricks. Tom cleverly persuades the various neighborhood children to trade him small trinkets and treasures and convincing them that it is an enjoyable activity. Later in the novel, he also sailed away with his friends to an island. This has become a very essential part of the novel that clearly establishes Tom's troublesome attitude. This quality of him makes him quite popular among the children as they enjoy reading such misadventures. The third point, introducing Huckleberry Finn. Tom Sawyer meets the wagon boy Huckleberry Finn, who was popular amongst most of the boys in the town. Huckleberry used to roam around the town aimlessly, getting involved into pranks and misadventures. This attracted Tom Sawyer and they started to spend more time together, though his aunt detested this company. The duo explored many interesting areas and got involved into exciting adventures. Huckleberry Finn becomes the protagonist in one of Twain's novels, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Besides Huckleberry Finn, we must talk about his romantic encounter with Becky Thatcher. This is a space that most of the children relate with as they are also very connected to their friends at this age. Just like your best friends, right? Number 4. The mystery plot. If you thought that the story is just based upon Tom Sawyer's mischief and comic misadventures, you are terribly mistaken, because the plot is also lined with some mysterious, serious adventures that Tom Sawyer gets involved with. First, Tom and Huck witness a murder at the dark and desolate graveyard. They serve witness at the court to prove that Injun Joe was guilty and not Muff Potter. Later, when the summer arrives, Tom and Huck decide to hunt for buried treasure in a haunted house. After venturing upstairs, they hear a noise below and peering through holes in the floor, they see Injun Joe and group of villains who had come to hide stolen stuff but find an even bigger treasure. This information excites Tom and Huck as they decide to follow the villains and find the big treasure. Did you just get caught up? These suspicious occurrences give the novel a touch of excitement. The readers are curious to find out what happens in the next moment, and thrill is sustained almost throughout the later part of the plot. The 5th, elements of adventures. The thrill is retained in the novel not only through suspense but also through the various adventures that Tom embarks upon or finds himself in. The one and the most interesting of them is when he decides to run away from home and sail to a nearby island. This was the first time when we come across his risk-taking spirit. Accompanied by his friends, he escapes to this island and decides to return only when there is a search for them. This takes us back to Robinson Crusoe's episode on the isolated island. Quite at the end on a picnic, Tom and Becky lose their way into a dark cave and end up wandering in the cave for several days, facing starvation and dehydration. Tom encounters Indian Joe in the cave one day but is not seen by his nemesis. These situations keep the readers riveted and make the plot 10 times more interesting. The storytelling is such that the young readers connect easily with the events. They aspire to have a carefree and adventurous life like Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. Do you not wish the same? What are you waiting for? Go and grab the book and start reading. Do not forget to share with us your feelings after reading the book. Before you go, quickly like, share and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting videos. Till then, happy reading!